Hello and welcome back to Shokuho as we go into yet another battle. Now we are going to have the Mori breathing down our necks here, or at the very least they're going to be pointing some very sharp objects in our face. Now the one thing that I have to be very happy about is that we have indeed, or at least I, went and took Ikuno Castle. This is indeed the last fief that the Ashikaga had under their banner, basically, and that means that they're eliminated, so that's fantastic. I did that a while ago, and indeed the wonderful thing that I am very pleased about is that Junzaburo, he literally destroyed the Shimazu, and they're also eliminated now. So that is wonderful, because obviously they only had one fief remaining, right? They only had one fief remaining, and thankfully he took care of business. Our guy in the wings, he absolutely had our backs. Now we have the Mori here, and of course they are attempting to take Kyoto Castle. Now, hilariously enough, there was actually another party, another army that wanted to attack Kyoto Castle, and we took care of them as well. Unfortunately, the garrison has now become rather depleted as a result of that first initial assault, and so as a result, we're now going to have a bit of a problem. Because now we're going to have to fight, well, basically an unburdened enemy army here. They have been, well, they're basically completely fresh, and it's going to be very difficult. Obviously, if you're thinking about this in terms of grand strategy or something like that, they're basically at full stamina, you know? They've got full stamina, full morale, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to have some issues, or potentially going to have some issues. Now, obviously, the biggest problem is the fact that the enemy has the Mori very close by to us with another army waiting in the wings to attack us, which is not exactly great. That's going to be extremely annoying, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be very annoying. So we're just going to do something like this. Let's just do that. There we go. Basically, I just want to try and spread out as many people as I possibly can, because we just want to make sure that we have the volleys. We want to get the volleys going on here. That is what we primarily want to do. Ooh, I feel like that was actually pretty close. You know, I should never go first person. That's the funny thing. I always miss when I go first person unless it's like a, you know, super brain dead shot. But whenever it's third person, I always manage to hit when I'm on mount, you know. I don't know, maybe maybe it's just a personal preference. I think it's definitely a personal preference thing for me. I generally tend to prefer third person for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, look, I actually did manage to hit something there, even though it was the horse. Which is not exactly great. But good enough, you know what I mean? We're actually doing some damage. Alright, so we're gonna go in with a nice little auto-delegate here with our cavalry, and we're gonna hopefully get our infantry to charge in there as well. Obviously, we wanted to try and delay the opponent as much as possible, try to eliminate them as best as we can, and now we're going to be going for the full aggression here. And as you could tell, our really good shots, actually had some pretty good shots, to be honest, in regards to our gun skill. And we're now at 250, almost. Well, I say, yes, we're almost at 250. Yeah, yes, almost. Being 237 in gun skill is not really almost. But, you know, it's closer than we've ever been before, because that's generally the way that linear skill progression actually works. Yes. Of course, yes, yes. Anyway, the point is, we are actually getting some pretty decent gun skill, and I'm pretty happy about that. So hopefully we'll be able to do something a little bit more in the future. Oh yeah, by the way, there is actually a mod that I wanted to install, but I actually forgot to do it. I actually forgot to do it before I started the recording, so my bad, but it is actually a suggestion from one of you in the comments, and I gotta say thank you very much for this. I had no idea that this was actually a thing. Hopefully it's actually gonna work for this version of the game. I haven't looked at it yet, so I wouldn't be able to tell you whether I am actually going to be able to use it or not, but basically it's a thing that moves the killing text or whatever it's called. You know, basically where we kill enemies in the center of the screen, that would be moved to somewhere else so that, you know, we don't have, you know, all of that stuff in our face, you know, because that's obviously very distracting, especially when you have an overwhelming amount of killing potential like we do. Because, I mean, let's face it, I can pretty much just charge into, well, anything, you know, a huge globule of units, and I can destroy a lot of them very, very quickly. And generally the mod that I'm talking about changes the position of this. And I didn't know this was a thing, but thank you very much for letting me know about it, because I am very interested in this. And you know what? I actually might just install it in between and just see what it's like, because maybe it's not going to work for me, maybe it's going to cause crashes, I don't know. But I am very, very interested in it because, I mean, obviously, as you've seen in the past, in you know, in certain sieges and stuff like that, the screen is just completely and utterly filled with kills. And while we love that, and that's obviously something that we really, really like, you know, that's great, you know, having that amount of kill potential is obviously fantastic, it is very distracting. So I am actually thinking that we might do something about that. Okay, I'm going to take these guys prisoner. I'm not going to let them go, because we want to we want to do damage. We want to do damage to these guys as much as we possibly can. And we're going to try to capture a couple of people here as well. There we go. Let's just try to convert some people, get these guys to join us a little bit here as well. Yeah, we are going to, by the way, we are going to go back. I just haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, but we are going to go back to Saikai territory, and we will try to recruit some people. I mean, obviously, as you could tell right here, I really have not had the opportunity to do that at all. I am consistently fighting, and especially now, considering there are so many enemies at war with us, we've had to, you know, kind of restrict our movements quite dramatically. But once, as you can see, the Shimazu are now eliminated. Once we have a bit more of a peaceful time, as in once the Mori have decided to do, you know, sort of, you know, leave us alone a little bit. Once they've decided to leave us alone, and the Takeda have decided to basically leave us as well, then I will probably go back over here, try to get some Saikai people, and actually get back into the fight with some gunners. That would be pretty fun, at least. So yeah, we do have a couple of level ups. These guys can level up into, I don't even know what they're good at. No, it doesn't seem like anything, but in particular, as you can see right there, they don't really seem to be anything super amazing. So we're just gonna make them into archers, I suppose. That sounds pretty decent. Anyway, I'm gonna go and grab that mod. Alright, so it's time for us to help out this village here. You can see that we actually have a dramatic amount more combat strength than our opponent. And, well, I've now installed the mod, so hopefully it's gonna go real nice. I'm gonna, if it works, if it works well, and it doesn't cause me any kind of issue, I'll put a link in the description so you can use it as well if you want to. Because I think it's pretty cool, especially for a mod like this that actually allows you to slash through multiple enemies and have a grand old time with that. And we'll see how we can defend this village. Maybe it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think we'll probably be okay, because this does seem... Wow, yeah, this seems pretty hilarious. Massive amounts of very flat battlefield ground that is going to allow us to do some massive damage, or at least I hope so. We've got 90 archers, actually pretty crazy. All right, so let's try and shoot. First of all, nice. Okay, look, there it is. Do you see the kill feed down in the bottom left? Did you see that? It's down in the bottom left now. Oh, actually not bad. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty nice location for it. I was kind of hoping that it might actually be in a slightly different place, like for example, maybe like top left or something like that, but I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, it's out of our face, right? It's out of our face, and we can still see it. I'm just gonna kind of see what it's like when we get a bunch of kills. Ah, okay, I see. Ah, okay. I need to turn off the other thing. Right. Yeah, I need to turn off the other thing. Okay, that's a bit of a problem in itself, because I actually like the other thing a great deal. Yeah. So now that's an issue. Oh dear. Yeah, that's an issue, because I like the more detailed combat log as well, because it tells me when I actually take massive damage, right? It tells me when I take, you know, pretty much like insane amounts of damage, and it tells me what I got hit in, and you know, all that stuff. So instead of me being like, oh, I just died, you know, I'm not gonna know this way, you see. So that's well, that's a little bit problematic now, isn't it? Alright, so tell me how you like it. Tell me how you like it, because as you can see, we do get the opportunity to see a huge amount of extra information as a result here, but obviously we don't get any of the other more detailed stuff. So we're going to get to see, you know, all the kills and so on and so forth that we're getting, but we're not going to be able to see as much of the damage taken that we are normally going to have. But the question is, does that really matter? Because if we're dead, right? It doesn't really matter how much damage we've taken. So it very much depends on... I suppose it's, again, another one of those things to do with mods and to do with UI and all that stuff. It's a personal preference thing. So for me personally, I'm going to try it out for a little bit of time. I will still leave a link in the description if you want to try it yourself. But just bear in mind that you are going to have to disable that other log, which is, I think it's called something like combat text or something like that, basically in the options menu. And yeah, you will have to disable that if you want to use this one. Otherwise, there's just going to be way too much information in the bottom left, and it's going to be, you know, spammy. And that's obviously not what you want. Anyway, I'm going to try to recruit a couple of people here, and I am actually not going to be taking any additional prisoners. We've got way too many as it is, and we're going to be moving quite slowly, so not a terribly big fan of that. Going to be taking every single bit of the loot. And we're going to be moving on to Himeji right now, because I really do need to sell a little bit. And we are obviously going to be moving on to the Mori. Unfortunately for me, the Mori are, for some reason, extremely resilient. I don't know why, but we are having huge problems with dealing with them. But hopefully, in the near future, we'll actually be able to take care of them a little bit faster than we have been. We seem to be very, very slow in dealing with them for some reason. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it's going. You know, that's just how it's going for us right now. Alright, so we're going to go into the castle here, and after this, I'm actually going to be forming an extremely large army, or at the very least, I'm going to try. Because obviously we do have a number of vassals that are already forming their own armies and doing their own thing, and we're going to hope that we can do our own and hopefully get some pretty good damage out of that. Now, if we could just get this battering ram over here, then I'll be very, very pleased. Let's just get this down. There we go. I am going to try to be a bit careful here. I know. It's become a meme now, hasn't it? Yes, slightly. I think it might have become a meme. But yes, as you can tell, look at how nice this is. We don't have this this crazy kill feed in the center of the screen anymore, but we can still see the kills in the bottom left, so that's actually really, really nice. I like that quite a great deal. That makes a big difference to our overall ability to defend ourselves as well, because then I'm actually going to be able to see, well, a wide variety of other things. Like, for example, I'm going to be able to see dangers that I am going to be approaching, and no doubt I'm going to be able to see people that are going to, you know, shoot me in the face 2 seconds later. Maybe. That sounds pretty likely at this point. But yeah, I'm going to get out my gun real fast. Just going to do a nice little shooty shoot and do basically no damage. Ah, that's great. Love that. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's exactly what I had planned. Yes, that's exactly what I planned. Wonderful. And that is indeed all she wrote for the opponent here. We're just going to have a couple of opponents remaining in the archery towers. Wow, this is I gotta say, I really, really like this particular siege layout. I think it's really, really fun, especially with these little bridges here that lead to the archery nests. I think that is such a nice, wonderful tactical detail there. I don't know. I really just love the attention to detail that they've put into this. It's just fantastic, you know. Every single little thing, even these little things that, you know, like for example going up this nice little slope here to another archery nest. It's just so well done. And I mean, obviously we've barely lost anyone right now. I killed 116. Very nice. 116 opponents. And indeed, we can go through to the keep now as well. That's obviously something that I don't generally tend to do because in the base game, there isn't really any point. There's not really any point in the player going in and actually dealing with the keep because it is the same pretty much every single time. But we haven't actually done that in Shokuho yet, so we might as well try it out and see what it's like. As you can see, it is pretty cool. I like the environment, don't get me wrong, you know, that's always fun to see. And indeed, oh, it's actually a lot bigger than the native, so I very much appreciate that. That's fun. Very, very pleased that there aren't any gunners in here. That's all I can say. If we had gunners in here, I would be I would have died 6 ways from Sunday already, I'm pretty sure. I would have been very, very dead pretty quickly. But yeah, there you go. Pretty fun, but simple enough, as you can see. 36 renown for us and 63 influence. Not too bad, not too bad. And indeed, I'm not going to be taking any prisoners here. Basically, no point in that. If we were at a town, I might be considered to do it, but yeah, we've seen many, many times in the case that it doesn't really give us that much. You know, doing that is all very well and good when you have pretty much no cash and you need to make something happen, as it were. But right now, we really don't have any need for cash, and we don't need to make anything happen because we are just powering forward. We are powering forward and making our presence known, and the enemy has no idea. Oh yeah, the enemy has no idea what to do. We are going to be taking a look at what's happening at Kyoto Castle. Obviously, the Mori, as you can tell, they are very much on the back foot here. Funnily enough, the Mori... actually, wait, not the Mori. The Takeda clan are actually making things a bit, you know, a little bit uncomfortable for us right now. Because our exhaustion is about the same. So we're going to have to do something about that. However, I am going to be... Ooh, as you can see, look at this guy. He's got 2,200 people. Okay, let's see if I can actually create some... Well... Yes. Nope. Not going to be able to create any armies right now, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Won't be able to do anything there. For some reason, this guy is... I don't know why he's doing that. Yeah, I have no idea why he's doing that. Oh well. I can't do much about it, unfortunately. We're just going to have to deal with the fact that he that he has a very, very large army and he's not really doing much at all with it for some reason. Okay, yeah, so this army, instead of raiding that village, is now deciding to take Kyoto Castle. I am actually going to wait until they take a little bit of damage, as it were. I guess I will literally take this for myself. I don't really want it, to be honest, because I would like to maintain control over very, very few fiefs. And we're just going to give that to someone else. Give that to the Ishin guy or something. There we go. Okay, that's good. And making peace. Oh, what? What? Are you serious? Making peace with the Takeda clan? Oh, we're I mean, come on now. Are you serious? Look at this. I should look. Oh no, I have to literally spend 900 and I have a bad feeling I'm going to be paying these guys. What do you bet? I have a feeling that I'm paying them. This is bad. I bet I am paying them. What do you bet? Are we? No, they're paying. Oh, well, that's good. Okay, I'm actually very, very pleased about that. Okay, that's very nice. Usually it's the other way around. Usually we get absolutely screwed over by any kind of agreement that, you know, made through that kind of situation, but that is great. I love that. Okay, well, all I need to do now is wait for these guys to start getting a little bit injured, and then we can go on in. Alright, so I actually left this for a little bit longer because I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Maybe if what we can do is literally just auto-resolve against these guys, it's going to save me a huge amount of time. And then what we can do is we can go straight on to another castle and we can maybe take that. That would be fantastic. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Ooh, the exhaustion. Ooh, very close. Very, very, very close here. Okay, we're going to rush back to Tenjin-Yama Castle, because that is literally just about to get taken. Now, here's the thing. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a different strategy in the upcoming exhaustion, you know, agreement thing that is going to pop up. I'm going to do a little bit of a different thing where we are literally... we're not going to accept it, okay? We're not going to accept it. Not unless they're giving me 3 million or something like that, okay? 3 million or whatever. That is the limit, okay? That is the literal limit of what I am prepared to take. I'm literally just going to leave the loot for now. I don't even need the... I don't need it. I don't need the loot, so there's no point. Okay, so let's go over to Hogi Castle, and we're going to see if I can maybe take that. Obviously, if I decline... Yeah, as you can see right here, they're giving me 1.3, okay, 1.3 million. And they're also going to be returning Matsuo Castle back to us. Do I... Okay, look. Here's the thing, yeah? I wish I could move the camera during this, but I unfortunately cannot. So now, here's the thing. Right now, I have an army on the field that has over 2,200 troops. They are on the way to besiege a castle. If we can get those guys to be as extreme in their efforts and their progression to capture a castle and then maybe even another castle, we will have much greater territorial advancement than if we were to say, oh yes, I will accept this right now. You see. So I'm going to say no. And we're going to see what happens. Because as you can see, look at this. Look, he's already doing it. He's doing it right now. He's doing it right now, which is fantastic. So that means that he's going to be taking it. And then... Oh, yeah. Oh, he's actually... Has he already taken it? No. They're still taking it. But yeah, they're going to be done very, very soon. Pretty sure they're going to be done very, very soon. And then they can maybe move on to yet another one. And that would be fantastic. Now, there are 7 days worth of food here. I am not going to wait until the food supply is done. I am going to actually be going in much, much earlier than that because I'm not afraid of the garrison, okay? I'm not afraid of the garrison. I'm pretty sure that if I'm going to die, I'm going to die no matter what. So, you know, it very much depends. Because here's the thing. Now that I have a little bit of a greater view on stuff, as in, like, my kill feed isn't completely obscuring my view, I might... This is obviously very, you know... the operative word here is indeed might. I might be able to survive a little bit longer than I would otherwise, because I can see stuff more, you know? I can see the enemy, I can see what they're doing, I can see whether they're going to shoot me or whatever, and, you know, I can see that kind of stuff. So hopefully we're going to have a bit of a better time. Obviously, that is not a... that is not a... shall we say, guarantee. Yes, it's not a guarantee in any way, but who knows? Maybe... Shoot that guy, thanks very much. Okay. Now, let's just see. What can we do? Okay, that is a hitbox problem, because I shot him right in the face, as you can see. Yep. Nope, that is a hitbox issue, so unfortunate that I won't be able to do anything there, but that's okay, because we can just make our way up here. Alright, here we go. Now we're starting to get a little bit deeper into the siege. And I gotta say, I actually really like this siege layout. I think it is extremely fun. It's got a wonderful combination of built-up structure and also, shall we say, wild nature kind of thing going on, because we do have a number of hills and mountainous areas, or at least hillside areas. Not really mountainous, but hillside areas. And they are very fun to fight in my opinion. And then we also have, of course, a lot of archers coming our way, which I very much appreciate. I like the fact that they're facing their backs to me as well. That's great. That's wonderful. Very nice and simple for us to eliminate them. And yeah, we're having a much better time now. Or at least I feel like we're having a much better time. It feels a lot easier for me to know when I'm about to be attacked by enemies in melee. Not so much with range, obviously, because it's pretty clear that you're going to get shot from some far distance, and it's going to be quite difficult to know when that's about to happen. But, you know, it's very useful for the melee combat and being able to dodge, block, whatever, something that is coming your way, when you don't necessarily know when that's going to happen, because sometimes the enemy is actually kind of passive when it comes to melee, and other times they are very proactive. So sometimes you're not really sure when that's going to happen. Like, for example, right now, loads of melee, right? Loads of melee enemies, but if I had that thing in the middle of my screen right now, I might not be able to see, if obviously I was starting to kill large amounts of enemies, might not be able to see whether someone's ready to poke me in the face. And if I was getting poked in the face, I'd take massive damage. You know, it would be a pretty significant amount that I'd be taking there. Wow, I'm actually really, really surprised that a lot of my people are actually leveling up their two-handed skills so dramatically. Very nice to see that, I have to admit. Generally, as I've said in the past, I don't think my companions are usually going to be that useful, but these guys have definitely proven themselves to be useful. Very, very pleased about that. And I think we got this in the bag. Yeah, we got it in the bag. And funnily enough, I lived again. Isn't that kind of strange? What's actually going on with that? Because in the last 2-3 sieges, I'm actually not entirely sure. I've literally lived with quite a sizable amount of HP remaining, and usually, as you know, that is not the case. Yes, usually I will get myself eliminated very, very fast, and it will be extremely easy for us to die. I'm not sure how that's happened, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I've had a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of an easier time here this time around. I'm not sure why that would be. Shouldn't be. It should be exactly the same, but maybe I have, I don't know, had an epiphany of some kind. Maybe I'm more easily capable of living because, I don't know, maybe the text thing, maybe the kill feed was the thing that was throwing me off completely. I'm not sure. Surely it can't be that, right? It surely can't be that. But as you can see, I am very clearly capable of surviving in these sieges. Whoa, 108 renown? I'm actually surprised. What? Okay, I'm very, very surprised about that. I was not expecting to receive such a significant amount, but all right. 100 renown, that's quite a lot, considering. Wow, okay, pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. And Hogi Castle has been taken. Okay, so now this obviously, I'm going to claim it, because let's face it, I'm going to have to give it to myself anyway, and then give it to someone else, and so let's give it to this guy from the Sochi clan. And yeah, there we go. All right, pretty nice. And now let's see. Ah, it is a town. It is a town they're actually attempting to take. Okay, this is a pretty big deal. If they are able to take this, this is going to be significant. Yes, there you go. They took it. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Okay. Very, very pleased about that. Okay, so that means I should move on to Okayama. I should move on to Okayama straight away, shouldn't I? That is what I should do. Let's give it to this guy. He's already... Wow, he already owns a huge amount of stuff. But yeah, should probably give him something. Anyway. Okay, so let's have a look here. Alright. Making peace... Okay, do I... No, I don't want to make peace with them, do I? I don't think so, right? I mean, if I make peace... Look. Okay, I'm gonna just cancel this for a real quick second, because if I make peace... Okay, it doesn't tell me. That's the kind of annoying thing here. If they would tell me... how do I only have 321? Is it because I declined to accept their exhaustion or something like that? Not entirely sure about that. But yeah, anyway. Point is, if I make peace... They're going to be paying me, right? Yeah, they're probably going to be paying me, but we did miss out on getting that castle for free. And a pretty hefty lump sum. So, I'm not sure if it's worth me accepting that. Or, at the very least, I think we're probably going to have it forced through, because the vassals that we have, they're probably going to force it. And there's not much I can do about it, because I don't have any influence to be able to stop that issue. I did have over 1,000 influence, so I'm not entirely sure where it's gone, but yeah, so something must have happened in recent times that actually caused me to lose it all, but I guess it's not too bad. 14 days worth. Oh, yeah. 14 days worth of food. You know what? I'm gonna go straight on in. I'm actually gonna go straight on in here. This is a really bad and very, very audacious idea, but I'm actually gonna do it. Just because... Okay, wow, this is a death trap. Okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna die here. I'm just gonna give you that disclaimer right now. Probably gonna die here. I'm gonna call it, because I think generally the smart play here would be to wait the 2 weeks and starve out the garrison. But I don't really want to do that, you know, because they're going to make peace very, very soon, and that's going to be a problem in itself. And I would like to try to avoid not being able to take the town. You know what I mean? I think it would be so much better for our faction in general. Okay, there we go. Okay, we could just be a little bit careful here. 241 in guns now, very nice. Ladder is up. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna be the first one up here. Probably not the best idea, but I am gonna be the first one up. Ooh, took some big damage right there. That was a gunshot. Thankfully, it wasn't a headshot. but we did take massive damage from that. I was actually doing really, really well up until that point, but that's just how it goes, unfortunately. Now, what we have done is actually really, really well, because we have significantly depleted the garrison here. Ooh, there it goes. All right. Yeah, that was very much, obviously, inevitable. However, I feel like we did really, really well. Look at how many kills we've gotten. We've got 250 kills. I got 126 by myself. And considering the fact that we were extremely outnumbered in this bottleneck here, and this was obviously a really, really poor decision on my part. I should not have gone there. But that's okay. Because look at how many we've killed. 261. We've lost 45 people. Technically only 12. And look at my forces. My forces are actually doing staggeringly well right now. And indeed, they are going to end up losing this particular engagement, unfortunately. But they've now eliminated 300. We're going to retreat, because that's obviously what we inevitably needed to do anyway. Kind of unfortunate, but the fact is, we've reduced the amount of people in here by a significant amount. And now, there you go. They are actually willing to pay us. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to say yes to this. And the main reason why we're going to say yes to this is so that we can basically make sure that they don't take back this town right here, and maybe the castle as well. And then, in the future, we will be declaring war on them again. I mean, you can see here, look at what the Mori has right now. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castles, right? 5 castles and 3 towns. That is pretty much nothing, if you think about it. In the grand scheme of things, that is nothing. And bear in mind, we can call for an army anytime we want now, because the other army is no longer active. The other army is completely gone now. So what we could do is I can literally call Jinzaburo, Konosuke, and we can have Magoemon. We can have literally all of these guys actually come in to our party here and absolutely destroy our opponent, whatever it may be, whoever it may be. And I think that it's probably going to be the Miyoshi next, because Amagiri is calling to me, oh yes, very, very much. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.